The company and the gentleman I'm about to introduce has built an incredible business. I think they're a visionary when it comes to the housing industry. I think they're a visionary when it comes to construction. How many of you understand that there is a multi-million unit shortage in the housing industry right now? Raise your hands, right? Multi-million unit shortage. And anytime there's a scarcity of anything, how many of you want to be the provider of the solution and the answer? But I want you to bring up an incredible man who's been a part of an incredible vision that is revolutionizing the housing industry. Paolo Tiramani, come on up, brother. Come on up. Go ahead and have a seat, Paolo. Have a seat. So, Paolo's son and I have become friends. I've been watching and I've been observing and I've been learning about their market and their industries. And so as we get into what Boxabl is, I'll let you, for those, how many of you are familiar with Boxabl? Raise your hands. How many of you, Boxabl is a little bit of a foreign conversation for you? Raise your hands. Okay. Why don't you just kind of give people a quick snippet of Boxabl before we get into the Q&A and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay? Thanks, Dutch. So Boxabl has been created to solve the housing crisis, just a very small task. Building construction today is really pre-industrial. By pre-industrial, I mean it's not built in a factory. It's not built in a factory because they're big, which means that they're built on site, literally in an open field, which means it's all regional business. The largest factory companies making buildings are about 70,000 square feet in terms of the factory space, and they can only ship 200 miles. Or thereabouts. Boxabl is still, I consider, to be in a sort of a prototype stage, and our factory is already 400,000 square feet. And we've solved a lot of those first principles and problems that allows building construction to be in a factory, take advantage of a modern world, and ship to regional factories globally. And that should do three things: lower the cost, raise the quality, and raise the speed to really lightning fast speed. To buy the product, buy buildings in the same way we buy everything else, through Amazon, and expect high quality and accountability from the producer. Boxabl is a for-profit company, but we did start it as a good works project to fix a big problem.
Tell people before Boxabl, what did you do?
Prior to Boxabl, I had a crazy business. I'm basically an inventor. I'm an industrial designer, mechanical engineering, I have a couple of degrees. And I had an IP licensing company. An IP licensing company is intellectual property licensing company. And I had a team, and we sat around and we invented product and licensed it to industry. In the same way that an author or a songwriter or a book writer would get paid a royalty for every time the song is played or the book is sold, we did that with products. And as with all things, sometimes the grass is greener. So that's my background, all intellectual property, mechanical engineering. And in my core, I am an industrial designer.
I guess your product is kind of protected a little bit.
Yeah, so Boxabl alone has, I think, about 60, 65 patent filings. But I would add that really, in terms of the sort of defensive realm, patents are just one layer. Really, it's technique, know-how, scale, money. And also, I'm not sure that we don't want competitors. The market is so big, we want to fix a problem. We're trailblazing through certifications and a lot of problems. And people backfilling behind us, more power to them. I think we'll probably actually help them.
Talk to people a little bit about what they should be looking at, right? You've been an investor for a long time yourself. What should be people looking at when they make investments?
Yeah, so I have been an investor for a long time. I've invested in a bunch of different technology, all the usual suspects that we all invest in and do very well. And really, I don't really have a tremendous amount of investment advice. I'm more on the design and engineering side of things. But so I probably sort of default to popular wisdom from people smarter than me, like Buffett, that says, know the product, look at the management, look at who's leading it, look at what they want to do, where they want to go. Do they have something unique? Do they have something protectable? If they don't have market share, are they on a track directionally to get market share? And then perhaps with sort of longer term investments, when is it over? When is the party over? I had a pretty large position with Apple for I think 18, so it's 15 years. And I nixed the whole thing out, took the hit, took the long-term capital gains, plus 25%, and put it all on Tesla, because I look at directionally where they're going. I don't see a car company, I see I see artificial intelligence, I see robots, I see self-driving cars, I see a genius at the helm. What else do you need to know?
Yeah, and there's good wisdom in that too, right? Because one had a founder who built something unique and incredible, right? And that founder passed away. And it turns into a board of directors, right? Running an organization. And I think that starts to change the DNA of an organization. It's something to consider when you're making investments, whereas, you know, Elon is still at the top, still a founder, right? Still pushing and driving, right? Even Amazon, right? Bezos is no longer running the ship, steering the ship anymore. And so, you know, that game has even changed with Amazon, right? And so it's not that Walmart's, you know, with the Waltons, right? Not that Walmart might be the right investment, you know, for some people at certain times, but timing is critical when it comes to making an investment, right? And when your timing is off, your risk exponentially, for me, goes up. When you have a company that doesn't exist yet, with no profit, no revenue, no actual, right, tangible product, right, is something you have to be very careful about, because sometimes it's easier, right, to sell an idea than it is to sell an actual, tangible, real product. And so as you're looking at business, especially in the crowdfunding space, right, and I know there's a lot of my crowdfunding friends or a lot of my startup businesses, right, they're going to hate what I'm about to say, right? But if a business hasn't made $1 yet, for me, that becomes a very difficult business to invest into,